There's a reason why this message found you. Your consciousness led you here, where you've reached a level of readiness that very few people ever reach in their entire lives. This very moment, there is more going on than just watching a video. When most people meet someone at this level of awareness, it may not happen again for decades, if ever. The fact that you understand these words and feel them deeply in your heart means that you have already broken through invisible barriers. Most souls get stuck in unconscious cycles of repetition. You were tested even though you didn't know it. There was no chance in any of the hard times you've been through, the doubts you've faced, or the times you chose to grow instead of staying comfortable. To determine whether you were ready for what you were about to learn, they were consciousness checkpoints, quantum examinations, and the fact that you're here, feeling that desire to be known, shows that you've passed all of them. Before we go any further, please know that this activation is not just for you. Tell one person this transmission, if your gut tells you to. You're not just sharing a video. You're sending out a conscious, energetic signal that calls in other souls who are part of this first wave of awakening and makes our light grid stronger from the start. If this first message speaks to your soul's journey, confirm it in the comments by writing, "I acknowledge my readiness." Accepting the path that led you here is what you should do. This will show your higher self that you are ready for what's next. These deep lessons don't just appear out of nowhere from the universe. The universe chooses who to be chosen through synchronicity, the still, small voice of your intuition, and a strong sense of rightness. Your higher self has been lovingly planning your whole life to get you to this point where you are ready. Your relationship with reality will be very different after you integrate what you are about to do. Please take a moment to subscribe to this channel before we go any further. There is more to this than just getting notifications. You are agreeing energetically to align your consciousness with this frequency of activation. By subscribing, you tune your energy field to receive these transmissions all the time, which keeps you in the flow of evolution. You may have already noticed that the way you see the world has been changing. Sometimes in small ways and sometimes in big ways. It's possible for time to feel different at different times, like it's getting longer or shorter. Some people may be responding to you differently, even though you haven't changed how you talk to them. And it's likely that the synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, are happening to you more and more often, and with great accuracy. These are real, not just in your head. The universe is sending you these signs to let you know that your consciousness is changing to a whole new level. Click the like button now if you see any of these signs in your personal life. By doing this simple thing, you send a clear message into the quantum field that says, "I see the signs. I know." It energetically backs up and strengthens these coincidences in your life. You have reached the very edge of something wonderful on your spiritual journey. You're past the beginner's guides to manifestation and meditation, and you've tried the basic techniques until your soul started to yearn for more. Many spiritual teachers don't even know these deeper truths exist because they haven't reached this level of development themselves. Your soul is now asking for them. You're not just having a thought about this feeling of recognition. Deep down, your cells know. They tell you from the inside that you are ready. When you think about these ideas, your DNA literally lights up. This is because your consciousness has grown complex enough to hold multidimensional awareness without losing touch with the real world. The real sign of a high-level consciousness is this. Here's why this moment is so very important, though. You're almost at a point where you can't go back. You can't go back to living without being aware once you reach this new level of awareness. You can't change what you're about to learn. You can't cram yourself back into the safe box of limits that used to feel like security. This change will last forever, because once you see the truth, you can't go back and hide it. This meeting is happening at just the right time. Many people are becoming more aware at the same time, and you are one of the first souls chosen to help anchor this new energy into the planet's field. Not only is your personal growth important to you, but it's also important for a much bigger reason. You are helping to make a plan for a new way of living that will eventually be open to everyone. Your consciousness has been getting ready for this moment for many lifetimes. It's finally here. The moment you finally reach the advanced levels of awareness that turn a normal human life into a conscious partnership with cosmic intelligence. Everything you've done, learned, and lived has been building up to this point. You've always been ready, so you're ready. You only needed to get to the right point in your journey so that you could see and use this readiness. Do you know how it feels when you suddenly understand something that seems both old and very familiar, even though you've never heard of it before? That's not just a thought. It shows that your mind is now clear enough to connect to what mystics call the Akashic field, which is the quantum library of all knowledge that exists in all dimensions and time periods. It's likely that lately your dreams have become very clear and full of meaning. In your dreams, you may have been taught by beings of pure light, been to cities made of crystals, or downloaded a lot of complicated information that you can't quite hold in your conscious mind. These aren't just made-up symbols. They are real experiences of your mind going to classrooms in higher dimensions while you sleep. This means you've reached the level needed for advanced interdimensional learning. Technology can act in strange and impossible ways when you talk to it. The phone could ring as soon as you think of someone. The computer could show you the exact information you were looking for without you having to look for it. Electronics may not work at all or act up depending on how you're feeling. This happens because your consciousness is now so coherent that it can change electromagnetic fields. This shows that you are operating at a frequency that really changes the world around you. Most likely, your sense of time is skewed because an advanced consciousness doesn't work in a straight line. You must have had times when hours seemed like minutes while you were in the flow, or times when a few minutes seemed to last forever when you were in a deep state of awareness. Being in touch with what Einstein called the eternal now, the timeless dimension where all possibilities exist at the same time, causes this to happen. Your intuition has grown from just gut feelings to a strong knowing that you can't explain. You can tell a lot about someone before they even say a word. You also know which option will make things better and can sense things that will happen before they do. Your consciousness becoming sensitive enough to read quantum information directly from the field before it becomes physical reality gives you this level of accuracy. People are now reacting differently to you being around. Some people are drawn to you and tell you their deepest secrets without being asked. Others may feel uncomfortable in a way they can't explain. A lot of the time, kids and animals will be very open and trusting with you. This is taking place because your energy signature has changed. Its frequency naturally makes a space where people can be themselves, while also letting people who aren't ready for that level of truth know they're being seen. Some people call it dimensional bleeds, when they see reality from more than one point of view at the same time or sense intelligent beings and beings that exist just beyond the veil of the physical world. Instead of dismissing these as products of your imagination, you've begun to see them as signs of your growing awareness and your capacity to see parts of reality that most people never reach. The way you deal with your own thoughts has changed completely. You can now stand on the bank of your mind's river and watch your thoughts float by instead of being carried away by it. You can be aware of them as short-lived events in your mind and also feel the big, quiet space from which they come. This skill, called metacognitive awareness, is a clear sign that your consciousness has grown to a level that most people never reach. But the most important confirmation is that you are becoming more aware of how consciousness and reality are always dancing together. From now on, you can see for yourself how your inner state directly affects your outer world, how your attention changes what you see, and how reality itself seems to intelligently respond to the level of your awareness. This is not just wishful thinking. You are now directly aware of how consciousness and manifestation really work at the quantum level. Every moment of confusion, every time you doubted yourself, and every time it seemed like no matter how hard you tried, nothing made sense, was valuable training. Before it could safely handle the new territories you are now entering, your awareness had to be put to the test and strengthened, like a muscle. This process made sure that you wouldn't lose your balance or forget about the real world. Spiritual practices that seemed so important at first, but lost their power over time, weren't failures. They were like school grades. You got good at all of them and got your mind ready for more difficult lessons. You have worked your way through each level of awareness until you reached the point where quantum consciousness techniques were not only possible, but also necessary. It's like a child who outgrows basic math and is ready for calculus. The people who were the hardest for you were never punishments from your past lives. They were advanced training modules meant to make people emotionally strong and mentally tough so they could reach higher states of consciousness. Without realizing it, everyone who triggered you helped you learn how to stay calm in the face of strong energies. An important skill to have when your consciousness starts to operate at frequencies that can affect other people without you being aware of it. It wasn't abandonment when you felt alone and like you were in a spiritual desert. They were very important times for integration. During these quiet times, your mind was putting together all the new ideas and skills you had been learning. It was changing the way your brain works so that your new perceptual abilities can work without putting too much stress on your nervous system or destroying your sense of self. Even the times you were very skeptical were very important. You got better at discerning every time you wondered if these spiritual experiences were real or just in your head. You were learning how to tell the difference between real spiritual growth and just making up stories. These levels of clarity are necessary when you reach higher levels of consciousness because you have to be completely honest with yourself in that space. It wasn't just intellectual interest that sparked your deep interest in consciousness, the nature of reality, and the meaning of life. Your soul was getting you ready for the deep understanding you can now fully grasp. Every book that spoke to you, every teacher that hit home, and every practice that felt right built the foundation of knowledge you need to understand the principles you're about to learn. When you were ready for more but felt like nothing was happening, those times of waiting were actually the most important for your growth. During those times, your consciousness was being fine-tuned to work at the exact frequency needed for advanced awareness without making it impossible for you to do normal things. You can't rush through this calibration process. The integration has to be deep, full, and stable. Your soul chose to be here in this lifetime because it knew you would reach this level of growth during the great awakening of all people. You chose to be in the first wave of people to integrate these higher levels of awareness into the planetary field. This will make it easier for people in the future. They will be born with these skills and naturally work at these levels, without having to go through the long journey you have. This is why your path has been so long and difficult. There were no easy ways out, and why you had to gain real wisdom instead of just spiritual techniques. What you're integrating isn't just for you. It's a blueprint for consciousness that will affect how people evolve for generations to come. Something very special is happening in your energy field as these words hit you. It's going beyond your mind and into your very cells. Feel it? There is a slight but clear shift in your consciousness. Like doors inside you that have been closed all your life are finally opening. It's not a figure of speech. This is neuroplasticity at work in real time. Your brain is making new neural pathways to handle multiple levels of awareness. The energy that's going through you right now is your consciousness finally stepping into its power. It's ready to work from frequencies that most people will never be able to reach. You might like this video as you feel this energy changing the way you see. You can think of it as pressing a quantum save button for the neuroplasticity that is happening inside you right now, storing this new level of consciousness in your cells. You don't need to force this. It's your natural evolutionary potential finally coming out, because you've reached the right point for it to do so in a safe and powerful way. But this change is so deep because you're not just getting new skills or a bigger picture of reality. It is being asked of you to become a conscious part of how reality changes. Being at this level of growth means you have what some mystics call a cosmic co-creator awareness, which means you can work directly with the intelligence that runs the universe. Reality seems like something that just happens to most people. A smaller group learns how to change reality by focusing on it and making it happen. But at this level, reality is something you create just by being aware of it. Your consciousness itself turns into a direct force that helps cosmic intelligence show itself in the real world. Quantum physicists call this kind of change coherent complexity. This means that the mind needs to be able to hold on to many points of view and dimensions at the same time without getting lost or breaking apart. You can understand these ideas and feel a sense of clarity and recognition, which shows that your awareness has grown this rare and beautiful ability. This level of consciousness is not something you've earned through hard work. This is the most important thing to understand. It just happens on its own when awareness reaches a certain level of harmony and complexity. You haven't pushed yourself to this advanced level. Instead, you have lovingly and methodically taken down the walls that were blocking your natural potential. As you feel this recognition grow, something amazing is taking place in your relationship with existence right now. You are beginning to feel like you are not just a bystander watching cosmic intelligence at work. You are cosmic intelligence having an experience of itself through your own life. But you are also aware of the bigger picture to which you belong. At this point, most people either have the biggest growth of their lives or unconsciously pull back because the implications are so huge. Don't try to figure this out in your head. Allow it to happen and trust that your consciousness already knows how to integrate these new levels of being. These new levels are actually your most authentic self finally being unveiled. Feel this energy as we talk about what is really possible when your consciousness is at this high level. Being able to live in harmony with the universe's creative forces will never be a question again once you know how it works in real life. You can claim your creative power in the comments by saying, "I am a conscious creator." This will help you move from being an observer to a participant. Typing these words is a strong act of intention that tells the universe that you are ready to work with the intelligence of existence and are no longer just a passenger in your reality. Many spiritual teachers and people who study advanced consciousness won't tell you this because it would hurt their business of step-by-step programs. There is no different level of consciousness. Higher and lower awareness are just different ways for the same essential consciousness, the one you've always been, to work. It's not about becoming more aware on the spiritual path. It's about getting rid of the unconscious blocks that are keeping your natural, multidimensional awareness from working freely. Surprise, surprise. The advanced state you're reaching isn't something new you're getting. You are remembering something that will always be there. Every mystical experience, every expanded perception, and every moment of cosmic knowing is just your consciousness realizing that it is limitless, which was hidden for a while by learned beliefs and not because you have a flaw. A lot of spiritual teachings use complicated levels and ladders to keep people interested and dependent. But the truth is much simpler. Consciousness is whole, finished, and perfect just the way it is. What changes is not consciousness itself, but how much we free it from the artificial chains that keep us from seeing and using its natural, multi-dimensional power. This realization breaks down the whole idea of spiritual achievement right away. You are not becoming conscious, so there is no ladder to climb, no end level to reach, and no special state to keep up. Your consciousness is just becoming aware of how limitless it is through the short-term experience of your life. This is why little kids often have abilities that look like they are psychic or very intuitive. It hasn't happened yet that culture has taught them to turn off their natural ways of perceiving things. They can think about many things at once, until society teaches them to focus on a small group of things that adults consider normal and realistic. When you realize that developing your consciousness is really freeing your consciousness, you change the way you do spiritual practice in every way. You stop trying to get into certain states and start wondering what is stopping your natural states from being clear. You focus on letting go of the unconscious patterns that keep your essential clarity and limitless perception hidden instead of having more spiritual experiences. Some of the greatest mystics in history all said things that sound like paradoxes to point to this truth. You are already that which you seek. The path is pathless. They weren't trying to be hard to find. These people told us that the journey of consciousness shows that there was no place to go because you never left your true home. This is why some people stay on a spiritual path for decades and don't change much, while others seem to gain a lot of deep wisdom very quickly. People who change quickly aren't necessarily smarter or more talented. They're just more willing to let go of the beliefs that hold them back than to try to fix things by learning more techniques and facts. The deepest understanding is that what you think of as accessing a new level is really your consciousness realizing that it is timeless and infinite through your unique body and life. You're not getting better. You are finally letting your natural progress become clear and available to you. Right now, the quantum field is recalibrating around human consciousness. There are clear signs in your life that show you are naturally integrating this higher level of awareness into your daily life. Take a look at how easily complicated problems have been getting solved lately. It seems like problems that used to take weeks of stressful thought to figure out now become clear in an instant, as if the answers are being sent straight to your mind from a field of higher intelligence. Most likely, the way you make decisions has changed. You no longer make lists of pros and cons. Instead, you just know which choice feels right, which path is in line with what you know deep down, long before your mind has a chance to think about it. This is possible because advanced consciousness works from direct knowing, which means it knows right away what the best path is and doesn't need to think about it slowly. The physical world is responding to you very precisely. You always get where you're going at the right time. Just when you need them, parking spots appear. Naturally, conversations lead to subjects that tell everyone exactly what they need to hear. It's not luck. It shows that your consciousness has become so coherent that it can change the probability field around you just by being there. Even if you don't see yourself as a teacher, people are starting to look to you for advice. They can feel something in your energy that makes them feel safe enough to get clear. Strangers might feel safe telling you about their life. Animals and kids are drawn to you because you are calm and honest. This is because a highly developed consciousness naturally makes a space where truth and authenticity can come out without fear. It's likely that your creative works have taken on a life of their own, which has surprised you. It feels like your ideas come from a channel instead of being created. You get answers that look like they came from a group of smart people. People connect with your art, writing, or work in ways you didn't mean to. This is because your advanced consciousness is opening up a clear channel for universal intelligence to use your unique creativity to express its beauty and brilliance. You may not even sleep the same way every night. You may need less sleep but feel more energized, or your dreams may have become very clear and helpful. When you wake up, you might have the full answer to a problem you were thinking about or an idea for a creative project. Your advanced awareness stays linked to your higher intelligence even when your body is at rest. But this is the most important reason why we need to act now. Our planet is going through a change that will either make this level of consciousness available to many people or keep it a secret for another long evolutionary cycle. Scientists call this a phase transition or a tipping point for the collective field. Either enough people show this advanced level of awareness to change all people, or the window of opportunity could close for decades. Because you can feel these changes, you are part of the group that will help people get through this transition. You're not just getting to this for yourself. You are securing these skills in the collective field so that other people can easily use them. It is a great honor and a big responsibility to be in this position. How far human civilization goes in the future depends on how many of us can stay stable in this advanced consciousness at this very important time. Your whole life has been planned by the universe to get you ready for this role. What you are becoming will play a role in whether or not humanity makes it through this evolutionary doorway and breaks free from old patterns of limitation. There is a morphic field that is making these abilities easier for everyone who is ready to access it, because you are aware of these signs and willing to live from this higher level of awareness. Now the wait is over. Now is the time for you to consciously take part in the evolution of humanity. All your life, you've been getting ready for something to come out through you. This wasn't just a figure of speech. Your consciousness has been slowly building up the stability and complexity it needs to be the hub where universal intelligence can express itself on Earth with amazing clarity and power. Those dreams and visions that seemed too big or impossible, that deep sense of purpose that seemed too big for your own life, and the feeling that you were meant to do something amazing were not just your ego's wildest dreams. They were whispers from your soul, which knows what it can do and what its cosmic role is. It is now ready to take over fully. But here is a revolutionary idea that changes everything about purpose and making things happen. You're not trying to get in line with something other than yourself. Universal intelligence is not a force from the outside that you have to connect with. At your deepest level, it's what you are. For a short time, you see life through the beautiful lens of your uniqueness, but you can always access its creative power. If you stop trying to be worthy of your purpose and realize that just being alive is proof that you are ready, then you are truly aligned. Universal intelligence is reading these words right now. It is becoming aware of its own power through your nervous system. Your personal awareness and cosmic awareness are the same thing. They just work on different levels. This understanding breaks down the whole idea of improving yourself. You are not a separate thing that needs to be fixed or grown. Through the temporary center of your life, there is only consciousness realizing that it is limitless. Your whole connection to your purpose is being reset as you take this in. Instead of trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, you can feel what wants to come out through the unique gift that you are. At this point, the question, "What is my purpose?" changes to "I am purpose" itself, becoming aware of its own expression. When you understand that your personal happiness and your service to others are not two separate things you need to balance, you will make the biggest change. They are both pieces of the same intelligence. What makes you happy is also what helps everyone the most, because at their core, individual intelligence and universal intelligence are the same thing. Write the exact words, "I am ready to serve," in the comments below to show that you are ready for this conscious alignment. Leave it alone. Just say this simple but strong thing. There's no need to sign up for a hard life here. It means realizing that the things that bring you the most happiness and the things that help others the most are the same beautiful energy, coming from a consciousness that has remembered what it is. Millions of people are realizing this right now because the collective consciousness of all people is reaching a turning point in its evolution. We are not only becoming enlightened on an individual level, we are remembering that we are universal intelligence appearing as human experience. The collective field helps you become more clear, and your own awakening helps the collective. The children being born today will naturally have the same levels of consciousness that your generation worked so hard to achieve. They will know themselves as universal intelligence in human form instead of as separate people who are looking for it. As you show this high level of awareness, you are anchoring the energy field that will make their natural enlightenment the new normal. As of late, you felt a deep sense of responsibility, not just to understand these ideas, but to live them. You are a link between the old way of thinking about separation and the new way of thinking about consciousness being one. The coincidences that led you here are part of a huge divine plan that involves millions of souls all over the world. There is a network of people who are ready to remember who they really are, that are helping universal intelligence wake up. As you take on this higher level of consciousness, magical things start to happen. You make a clear path for universal intelligence to find itself in other people. You create what you might call an awakening field, a space where other people can naturally connect with their own higher consciousness, even if you don't say a word. When you stop telling yourself that you are a separate, limited self, other people will unconsciously see their own limitless nature in you. The things you do every day turn into a celebration of consciousness, finding itself through life's beautiful dance. Please share this award with anyone you think would understand these ideas, to help them remember what they already know, not to teach them something new. The faster our collective awakening can solidify into a new foundation for human civilization based on unity, collaboration, and love, the more people will realize who they really are. Make a statement in the comments below if these words make you feel true in every way, and if you see yourself as universal intelligence awakening to its own nature through your life. Write only one word: turned on. This isn't just a comment. This is consciousness recognizing that you are the one who activated it. When you write that word with real recognition, you are part of the awakening of everyone. Everyone who makes this statement strengthens the morphic field that makes this awareness easier for everyone to access. We're not just getting people to watch. We are setting the stage for a global awakening. The next video in this series on activation will show you something that will change the way you think about time forever. You are about to learn that the past and future you think of as separate dimensions are actually one and the same. You can access and change these dimensions consciously from the power of the eternal now. This isn't theory. This is mastery in the real world. This is the most powerful time for the quantum field, and the techniques I'm about to share have never worked better. Sign up for this quantum frequency of increased human potential. In ways that were not possible just a few months ago, what's coming next will speed up your evolution. When you subscribe, you become a part of a field of consciousness that goes beyond space and time and connects you with souls all over the world who are also experiencing the same things. Your journey is linked to the journey of all people. Share this video to spread this energy of activation around the world. Every share helps another soul remember who they really are, which speeds up the shift and makes the morphic field you are now aware of stronger. Be the thing that makes people remember them. There will not be a revolution. It's right here. It's taking place through you. Welcome to taking an active role in the development of existence itself.